Pharaoh, let my people go!
Yes! Today on the Cardboard Herald, we are reviewing the ultra-fast, family-friendly game of Egyptian block building, Imhotep. Or was that the deviously confrontational game of hurt feelings and delightful risk, Imhotep? Turns out, it might actually be both. In Imhotep, players are building stuff using blocks of their color, trying to gain the most renown by the end of 6 rounds. On a turn, players can get more cubes from the reserve, place a cube on a boat, or ship a boat that has met its minimum cube requirement to one of the locations, whether it has their cubes on it or not. Players continue taking actions until all boats have shipped, at which time the round ends and a new card is flipped showing the boats available during the next round. Each location can only activate once per round, and when activated, you resolve cubes, placing them on the location based on their order in the boat. At the pyramid, you get immediate points for covering spots, whereas the burial chamber is an investment, giving you more points at the end of the game for the more adjacent cubes of your color. There's also the market, which gives players cards granting immediate effects, endgame bonuses, or one-time use powerful actions. Every location has a use, but timing is key to making it useful. Here's the deal with the Imhotep, is that with only 3 possible things that you can do on your turn, even at a full 4-player count, it cranks out in about 40 minutes or less, but at the same time, all of your decisions carry a lot of weight. That's mainly because you have a lot of good reason to believe that your well-laid plans will come to fruition, but you'll also be full of a ton of anxiety because you just know that some opportunistic jerk is going to come by and lay them all to waste. Here, check this out. So let's say that on my turn, I'm taking a look at the board and I decide, you know what, I'm going to take my cube and I'm going to place it on this 3-space ship, knowing that no one's going to be able to ship it without the 2 requisite cubes. Now my buddy Tina, she comes over and she's deciding, man, I could put my cube on that same ship, hitching a ride to wherever old Jack goes. But instead, she starts her own boat adventure, which is cool. That's fine with me. On my turn, I'm thinking, man, that burial chamber, it'd be great if I had 2 adjacent cubes to go in there connecting everything that I have. So I put another cube on that same ship. But Tina doesn't like me having nice things. So Tina goes ahead and takes my ship and then moves it onto the temple, which is way less helpful for me. This ability to leverage your opponent's hopes and dreams and bring them crashing down is one of the cornerstones of Imhotep that makes it such a fun and uniquely interactive and cutthroat game. And it's also why Tina is in fact the worst. Because boats unload 1 cube at a time and in the specific order, timing is key. Sometimes you'll want cubes to be placed before you so you can be second in line, and sometimes you'll want to be at the front of that ship. This game is all about seeing what possibilities other people are working towards and counting on whether or not they'll let your own plans go through. Fortunately, no matter what, every space in Imhotep has some value, so even when your schemes are left in utter ruin, you will still be propelled forward, whether it's the obelisks, which grants you points for your ranking of the tallest obelisk at the end, or the temple that gives you points for every cube showing from the top at the end of each round. Though here is a perfect example of where you wouldn't want your cube covering up your own cube because you gain effectively nothing, but because of the quick play and simple structure, for me, being foiled teeters more towards comically tragic than soul-crushing, but it's a thin line and your mileage may vary. One thing that I'd feel remiss not to mention is that these cubes, they feel really good, and I love that this game has a physicality to it. No, it's not a dexterity game by any means, but the way that cubes are laid out, they have a proximity to one another. Sometimes they're in a flat plane, but yeah, sometimes they rise up vertically, covering each other. There's an extra dimension to it that's really kind of unusual for this type of strategy game. But it is a strategy game. For as few options as you have available to you on your turn, every decision you make is going to have immediate ramifications for you and every other player at the table, whether it's placing cubes, it's shipping boats, or even effectively skipping your turn by grabbing more cubes from the supply, so long as you have the space. One last thing about this game is the B-sides. Though it's lightweight and speed keeps the game pretty crisp, it can feel pretty samey after a few plays. Fortunately, each of the locations has a B-side, which has alternate riffs on how the A-sides work. B-side burial chamber don't care about adjacency, just how many of each player's cube is in each row. B-side pyramid ain't a pyramid, it's several small pyramids where players placing pieces can pick the pyramid they want to place in. In a game as tight as this, with only a few random elements from the cards and which boats are populated each turn, the ability to mix up the sides of tiles you are playing with go a long way to keep things fresh, like a mummy in a sarcophagus. This game is a puzzle that's just as much about figuring out your opponents as it is figuring out what you want to do on your turn. Normally, I would hate that, being caught in a cycle of over-analysis, feeling like every decision is incredibly risky and vulnerable to whatever my opponents decide to do. But because of the simplicity, the ease of play, and the fact that it never overstays its welcome, often coming out in 30 minutes or less, I think this is a great little abstract strategy game. Not for the easily frustrated though, because Tina don't care about your tiny feelings. But for me, I have thoroughly enjoyed my time with Imhotep. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Jack for the Cardboard Herald. If you enjoyed this video, we have all kinds of other reviews, interviews, and recommendations via writing, podcasts, and video here on our channel and website cardboardherald.com. Our content is audience supported, so if you want to show your support, please visit our Patreon. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Cardboard Herald.